Howdy folks, it's Stephen from the Gold Coast Art School, and today we're going to talk about a teensy-weensy little something, but it's something I have noted students are doing and they're kind of getting themselves into a bit of trouble, and it's simply to do with the way they hold the brush. Your hand is very flexible, it can go in all sorts of different directions, but we seem to be hardwired to think that we're using a brush like we're writing something. And I see people holding a brush and they're doing that, and the trouble is they can't see what they're doing very well. This is just a little suggestion, and I want to show you the difference. If you're sort of holding your pencil or your brush like that, and it's basically your hand's getting in the way of what you want to paint. And now that applies both on an easel situation or if we were working on the flat. So to me, it makes so much more sense that if we take the brush and we hold it like this, so that you can see what you're painting. Why would we do this is because there's certain approaches to painting, for example, layering, scumbling, and glazing. Okay, so the first demo I'll do is just show you what happens with glazing. Now, glazing is just transparent paint over an underpainting. There's two reasons why we'd do this on the flat, because glazing is runny, because it's made up mostly of this stuff. See how runny that is? So we need to be on the flat. So if you're going to be holding it like this, there's two reasons why this is better if I do it like this, is because when you're glazing, you need to be able to see what you're doing and also to have more control. So if it's an oblique angle, you've got more control over how strong that glaze is going to be, because we don't necessarily want this to be too strong. Now what happens is that if I hold it like this, it's scratching it and it's lifting the paint off at the same time, so you're not getting a solid glaze. If you're doing it like that, it's because the angle is too direct. 45 degrees is not so good, but it's better if it's more like a 20 degree or a 10 degree. And you got a lot more control over that. And you've got more control over how it spreads. Now, can you see what happens if I start in the middle and cut like that? Can you see how you've got that? That's if I hold it like a pencil. You need to attack the painting surface gently. All right, so that's why you need to have that angle. Very important. This particular painting requires a different technique, and it's called scumbling. Now, scumbling is when you have a dark base and you drag a dry brush mix. What do I mean by dry brush? No liquol. We just use the paint straight out of the tube. We load the brush up and then we take the excess off it. See how I'm rolling that around to make sure that there's no surprise? We just want a little bit of paint on the inside there. Not too much at all. If I'm doing this, I can't see what I'm doing at all because my hand's in the way, and it's very awkward to do it like that. So it's much easier if I hold the brush like that and then just gently drag it over, letting it just build up slowly, slowly, slowly. Add some more. Let's keep building. And that way you slowly build up a texture that enhances the texture that we've already established with the white back, which we've discussed before in other videos. If you don't know about that, I suggest you have a look at our previous videos on that technique. But you see how you drag it very, very gently, and it's very important that it's a low angle. Not like that, because that's just going to scratch it and rub it in. We don't want it all together rubbed in. It's a useful technique for just building up your surfaces slowly so you get you can create the effect of light and shade. It just helps to make this area here a bit more convincing. Now there's some lovely texture already there, and what this does is enhances the texture. Can you see that happening? Now if I do this, that just obliterates it, and I won't be able to get the value of that texture that's already been put there. And you can do it with light over dark, and also you can enhance it with darker colours as well. So you can just bring some colour into the shadows. So it's just very, very slightly. See, now we're bringing in this purple grey, which helps with the building up of the rocky image. And notice how I can see what I'm doing. If I try and do it like this, I can't really see what I'm doing. I'm lost. So that's why I think it's a good idea to hold the brush like so. Okay, we're back up on the easel now with another painting. And this is just when we're what we call layering. Well, layering very obviously is just building up what you've already started. We've got a really nice white back here, and it's just bringing a bit more formality into it. Now, if you have your hand like that, it's really hard to see what you're doing. It's much easier, and the idea is to just very, very slowly build up your colours, and you've got more control over your painting if you do so. And this is quite different to the other technique in that we're using a variety of tones of the same colour. So we've got beautiful creams and we have lovely oranges and things. So we very, very slowly build it up like that, working wet into wet. There's some lovely orange tinges through here too. So a little bit of vermilion, a little bit of yellow. We might leave it there. It just gives you an idea about holding the brush. Now, the bottom line is, if you find this really grossly uncomfortable and you can't paint at all like this, seriously, it's okay if you hold the brush with your foot or hold it in your mouth or do whatever you need to do to get the message across. There are no hard and fast rules. It's just that sometimes getting your hand out of the way and allowing you to see what's going on really, really helps. Thanks for watching this very clumsy demonstration, but look, hey, we're doing okay. So remember, not always that, sometimes it's that. Thank you.
Thank you. Like and subscribe.
Oh, yeah.